Hey everybody, been a while. How's it going? I took a break, through the holidays. Weather was cold and I was sick 2 weeks ago, had a little COVID, but the sun's back. I'm behind on projects, especially this one. This is a G-body GM, like 78 to 88 style, desirable 8.5 ring gear 10-bolt rear end that like what your Grand Nationals had in them, but they fit your Monte Carlos and your other Cutlass, Regals, and Malibus. The choice rear end for the high performance car guy. And this one was getting a new set of 410s and a new Auburn Posi. It had a set of 342s. Got the gear setups done. Also, finally, I made me a pinion bearing tool by cleaning out the inside diameter with a Dremel grinder and to clearance it so that you can, like on these old gears, the pinion shim, you want to reference that and see. Now this isn't press fit, so you can assemble and use the used crush sleeve and whatnot, and torque your pinion and check your pattern, your wear patterns with different shim diameters, because you get the different packs, and we ended up using a 32 thou on this one, which is pretty normal size, and backlash got her dialed in at 0.006 6,000, so I like to keep it on the tighter side, especially to just no need to be having that much more slinging around in there, like for example, like say a 4-speed car, you have a slack drive shaft and the pinion could be not meshed with the ring gear, so the bigger the gap, the bigger potential shock load there could be if it's like clutch dropped or jammed into gear or whatever. I just feel like it's, being on the tighter side of the range, like 6,000 to 10,000, I like it to be more like 6,000 or 7,000 clearance. It's just, to me, it's just stronger that way and likely to be quieter. We need to put the seals on the ends, the axle seals. I've got to pull this set screw out here, so we're going to pull this out so we can get the C-clips ready to pop the seals in and do the axles later. So here's where your axle seal goes in here. It's really nothing to it. I like to use a block of wood, with a flat edge to bang it into place. So we're gonna try that. See if this works in a video format done with the least amount of effort. Well, I'd say that worked. You get the idea. So we're back in here. We got the other seal changed. I like to use this brake bleeder tool. It has a 5/16 on one end. That fits your 8.5 corporate lock set screw. You have to pull this off and to get the cross pin slid out of the way so you can do the C-clips. Also, on a side note, if you're tearing down an original rear end, I have found that sometimes that pin, maybe the rear end like slid into a curb and hit the axle flange and shock loaded the axle, tapped into this, and it fractured the little set screw off in the housing. And you have to grind the damn thing apart in here to get it apart, or you can't get the rear end apart. It's really a whip. That happened on this rear end. I had to use a grinder and like destroy the old differential just to get the lock screw out so I could get the cross pin out so I could get it apart. Luckily it was a single track rear end, so there was no loss on that differential. It didn't have any value, but it is something that happens. That's another reason why your factory bolt-in axles, like a lot of your BOPs, like that beautiful wagon right there, and this start chief right here, they have bolt-in axles from the factory, so they won't do you that way. But never mind all that. We're gonna go slide an axle in. Maybe even do it on film. I've added a little wheel bearing grease here and here, knocked off some of the dust, and this is a 28 spline axle. That's stock on your 8.5 in the 70s and 80s. These rear ends kept going and became the half-ton truck rear end starting in the 80s, but they still use them now up in the 2000s. The 8.5 gear sets actually became an 8.6, and those will still fit in these older housings. Funny enough. So we got that. Now you can see kind of in there, I got to get the C-clips, so I'm going to shut her down because I need 2 hands for this. Well, that was a little bit of a booger. That plate that holds the springs was a little bit in the way to get the axles to seat back in the hole with the C-clips. But just a little tapping on the spring plate from the side and shifted it a little bit and got them to drop in. So now the cross pin should go back in, although I'm probably going to have to tweak it a little bit because I moved the plate. Well, she's in there. It's always nice to be putting this on. Means we're coming to a close. I don't think I'm going to put the cover on today. I might put some oil in it or do it tomorrow. So I'll need to clean the cover and glue the gasket to the cover on one side so it'll come off clean on the housing. Probably put oil in it tomorrow. And of course, with that Auburn differential, you want to use a non-synthetic regular gear oil. So I like to use GL5 8090. And then especially, this is totally for sure on Auburn, but their own additive friction modifier, use theirs on these style differentials. The other Eaton styles are more forgiving, but Auburn cone clutch designs are good when they're good, but you better put the right additive in it so you don't ruin it. Or we'll be doing this again and putting an Eaton style like a Yukon or OEM with a different design. Of course, GM used Auburn design and an Eaton design in different year models, different applications. They also in trucks use something called a Gov Lock, which is more like a Gov Bomb, it has a little gizmo in it. You want to stay away from those. But anyway, I need 2 hands to torque this, but hope you enjoyed it. We got more gear stuff to come. We're going to do the Posi, actually Safety Track factory 2 series differential, series 1, actually for the 69 LeMans on the original 256 gears. So that's a series 1 differential for 256 and 278 ratios only, not available new. So that's a used Auburn style cone clutch from the, I think it came out of a 71 or 2, which is like the last 2 years they made them. But then we're going to do that Firebird with the new 30 spline axle upgrade, new Posi, and I was going to put 308s in it, but I'm going to go to 342s because that's what's original to the car and it's a standard, and we don't want it to be kind of doggy, you know, hooking up in first gear at the track or something. So anyway, stay tuned, subscribe, find that button, people, hit that button, subscribe, and thanks for watching.